Hey everybody, my name is Gerry, I'm from Wild Eye, and I've just returned from very close to the North Pole, up in Svalbard, and I had my first run with the OM-1. Now, going into the trip, I just did a little bit of research and looking at the camera, what it offers. On paper, absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. And I had pretty high expectations going in because the shooting conditions up there, it's cold, which can affect battery life. You are shooting very high contrast scenes, there's fast moving subjects, so a whole bunch of stuff that I was keen to get stuck on. Now, I dropped my OM-1 off with OM Systems with Gareth because I needed a bit of a clean before I head to Iceland to do landscapes with that same camera. But I wanted to share just a few things that to me stood out about the OM-1. Now, the first thing is the ergonomics. I've been shooting up until now the EM-1X and the EM-1 Mark II. Now, size-wise, the OM-1 compares very close to the Mark II, but it's chunkier, it's a bit bigger, it's more robust, right? So the grip feels so much better. The dials and the buttons feel a little bit, I almost want to use the word stronger. Now, I haven't got a battery grip yet for the camera, but overall, the feel of it is amazing. One of my clients, a Turkish gentleman, he's looking at swapping to the camera as well, and big guy, huge hands. And even for him, the camera sits very well in the hand. So ergonomically, I think they did a pretty good job to make it feel more like and I'm using this as a joking term, like a real camera. A lot of the initial mirrorless was very small, and you kind of had to hold this thing. You feel like you're going to break it. OM-1, very different. It sits great in the hand, it feels good, and all around ergonomically, I think it's a huge, huge improvement. Now, the next one that was big for me is the menu system. In the past, the EM-1 Mark II, X, Mark III, the menu system worked down. So you would scroll down to access all the different menus. You would also then have sometimes when you hover or when you get to a certain menu item, there's a pop-up which you had to take away. It was a bit of a pain, right? What they've done in the menu system on the new OM-1 is it works sideways, very much like the other brands. So there's an almost universal feel to the menu system, which makes it very friendly. So the kind of excuse of, I can't do this, it's too different, that's rubbish. That's gone, because two things. Number one, on the mirrorless cameras, like the OM-1, you can program every single button. So if I'm coming from a Nikon or a Canon and I want to jump into the OM-1 system, you can customize the button so it's the same as on your old camera, which is golden. And in the menu system, doesn't feel a little bit foreign anymore. It's great. The sideways menu works well. It's a deep menu. There's a lot of functions, but it's super easy to use. That to me was quite refreshing. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think it would make a huge difference to me, but in the field, changing stuff, very, very neat. And I think it's a pretty good upgrade. Then, and this blew my mind, the tracking. So if we go back to when mirrorless cameras just started getting kind of mainstream, the issue was always you can't shoot low light and the tracking sucks. The tracking on the OM-1 is unbelievable. Now, what you can do, and some of the other brands have had this, but I was blown away to the level to which the OM-1 takes this, is you can set up cars, trains, I think people, animals, and birds. Now, I obviously use animals and birds quite often. In the situation I was shooting, I was photographing polar bears in the snow, polar bears on ice, seals, a couple of seals or walrus together. Now, from a contrast point of view, that's difficult. And most of tracking works on contrast. That high contrast pulls it in. And the identification of shapes. Now, I was shooting polar bears at distance, a white/off-white polar bear walking on white snow, even at distance with the animal very small in the scene. And I'll put some images up here as well. The camera nailed it every time. Walking towards me, walking side to me, and sometimes even when it walks away and looks over the shoulder. The animal tracking picked up seals, yeah, and walrus. So there will be like 3 walrus on an ice float, and the camera would pick up the body with a white frame, and then also the face, eyes, nose, and so on. That to me was pretty cool. I'm like, okay, I like this. I really like this. And I'm actually looking forward, my next trip's to Iceland. So unless we find puffins, most of it is landscape. But then I'm going to do gorillas and the Masamara again. So I'm very keen to see how that plays out there. However, in Svalbard, the one other thing that we played with is there's a lot of time when you're sailing. So you're out in the water and doing your thing. And we would stand on the deck and you get northern fulmars flying past the boat. So it would come straight from behind and bank off past the boat. And we would then play games as to see who can track it the best, who can get them closest to the water. I haven't really dug deep on any of the other brands tracking. I've played with Sony, I've taken all of those things. To say to you that I was blown away by the bird tracking on the OM-1 is an understatement. It was insane. And not just flying birds. So flying birds from the front and from the side. Even when they just going in the water, like the, what's in the water? Black guillemots or the king eiders, eider ducks. They pick them up every single time. And it sticks with it. Even when, and you'll know what this is like if you're a bird photographer, the bird comes towards you, that's still easy to track because it's very linear for you. But the moment this happens, it kept it perfectly. Backgrounds didn't bother. I would shoot it against white snow, against blue skies, against silver kind of water. Didn't change a thing. If anything, if they just gave me that tracking update, I would be done. I promise you, it is next level. And I will be trying, when I go to Gorillas and that, I'm going to try and actually record the screen for you and show you how that tracking works for gorilla faces, for shapes. And then in the Masamara, leopards, lions, giraffes, and so on. It is magnificent. I kid you not, it's incredible. So, the other one that was quite nice to me, I didn't think of this until Gareth asked me what I thought of the battery life. So, like I said, I don't have a battery grip for this yet, so I only have one battery. I charged it full the day before we got on the boat. I was on the vessel for 10 days, shooting a lot. And also what I would do is I would leave my cameras outside. As you come out of the lounge area on the boat, we walk forward, there's like a square window that looks down into the dining area. We would leave our cameras up there. So I would leave, the other camera was my EM-1X. So I would have two lenses, one on each body, outside in the snow. Average temperature probably about, I don't know, +2 to -2 Celsius. I'd leave the cameras out there, and with all of that and with shooting a lot, I think I charged twice in 10 days. That's impressive. That's very impressive. I don't play back a lot, granted, but every once in a while, especially with the polar bears at distance, to make sure you've got everything like it should be. Amazing battery life as far as I'm concerned. My EM-1X, I have 2 batteries in it, and I have 1 spare battery. On that one, I think I changed batteries once and charged another time. So, pretty good. Battery on this thing, really, really good. The small thing also with battery is it's a USB-C charger, so the same as your laptop, right? And at times when I was working or doing lectures on the boat, because we do photography lectures, polar bear ice lectures and such, I would use a normal plug point on my laptop and charge the camera straight from there. You can also download like that, so it's super simple. But the charging for me was very easy, not having to take the battery out, put it somewhere. Being able to just put it into my laptop and charge was amazing. So all in all, my first run with the OM-1 exceeded all my expectations. The tracking, first of all, is mind-blowing. The robustness of the camera, it feels solid, is great. The charging was super simple. And then the menu system is just a nice kind of to wrap it up. What I'll do is I'll add a few images to the end of this video, all taken with the OM-1. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. And I said to Gareth as well, from OM Systems Africa, South Africa, that this is the first camera in a long time where, and look, I'm in the very lucky, privileged position to be able, we've got rental stock of various brands at the office. I'm working with OM Systems, who've been very good to me. They're amazing. But this is the first camera in a very long time that I would be more than happy to put money down for. And that says quite a bit. It's solid. Definitely check it out. Guys, if you have any questions, I'm going to run some images from here. My contact details at the end. If you have any questions about the OM-1, please let me know or leave a comment on the feed here and we'll chat about it next week. But if you can, get one. If you can't get one now, rent one and try it out. Truly amazing. Like I said, next up is Iceland. After that, I'm off to Uganda and Kenya's Masamara. And I'll be giving you more updates and stuff on all the system and how it works in the field. Wherever you are in the world, happy shooting. Stay safe. I'll chat to you next time. My name is Gerry. I'm from Wild Eyed. Bye for now.